Hey friends, good morning. This is another update on the campaign to help raise funds for saving indigenous lands in the Amazon. A couple of weeks ago, the Amazon fire story broke, and I tried to offer some big picture via a video and a blog. The main things I was trying to get out there are that these fires are not a new thing, but yes, they are part of a worst case scenario for all life on Earth. Unfortunately, the Amazon fires so far are around 1/13 of the fires on Earth, effectively caused by human beings to clear lands for ranching, for agricultural production, and other development that's unsustainable. So the fires are actually worse in Bolivia, Angola, and the Congo, and other parts of Brazil. More than half of the fires in Brazil right now are in the Amazon. But of the 80,000 fires since the first of the year, over 30,000 of those fires are pasture fires and other types of deforestation fires outside of the Amazon. So the problem with the Amazon is the same as so many of the other tropical countries. That's that this is a federal problem. Brazil's regime change, political regime change over the last few years has knocked Brazil back at least 20 years in terms of its governmental policy and view on protecting the world's most important ecosystem, the Amazon. But deforestation by fire and other types of deforestation that is destructive to the global biosphere has been occurring for decades. And that's why BioIntegrity is promoting stopping tropical deforestation as the most important solution to climate change and the extinction crisis. We're already over the red line on the amount of forest that's been cleared. And most of the loss has happened since 1970 as global human population has increased so rapidly. What this means then, in terms of what do we do, is that we have to take all kinds of actions. We have to think bigger now about how to positively affect the future when it comes to the environment. And this week, Elizabeth Warren adopted Jay Inslee's climate plan. CNN also did 7 hours of climate town halls. Hurricane Dorian also hit the United States. So I've been thinking a lot about U.S. leadership and governmental policy, how it sets an example for other countries in its response to the global environmental crises of our time. And the Inslee Plan is exemplary. If you're wondering how we accomplish a global economic revolution that strengthens the United States economy, institutes care and responsibility, and decarbonizes rapidly, addresses refugee crises, empowers workers, youth, and indigenous people around the world, cleans up international trade, international disaster assistance, and international development, addresses climate preparedness, resilience, and recovery from extreme weather events, cuts fat that we don't need in global economics, and has a fast rate of self-incentivizing growth. Check out the groundbreaking Inslee Plan. Elizabeth Warren said about this plan, Jay Inslee didn't merely sound the alarm or make vague promises. He provided bold, thoughtful, and detailed ideas for how to get us where we need to go. While his presidential campaign may be over, his ideas should remain at the center of the agenda. And so I took a look at the Inslee Plan. It's long and it's awesome, but it's so long I thought no one that I know will read this all the way through. So I created a bullet point synopsis, and there's a link to that synopsis in the comments below. The Inslee Plan is the most comprehensive view of how we transform the American economy and make it an agent of good, especially in light of the climate challenge. My one criticism of the Inslee Plan would be my one criticism of the climate effort, the climate conversation, that we're not looking realistically yet at biospheric losses. That the climate problem is about stopping greenhouse gas emissions primarily so that we can protect the life on Earth, but the life on Earth has already been dramatically reduced in the last 50 years. At the same time the climate problem was increasing. We have grown and expanded so rapidly that we have destroyed already more than 60% of global wildlife, more than 50% of global ecosystems. So we have to address the protection and restoration of our biosphere, our global life support systems, or the ecosystems and wild places on our planet. And they're currently under attack by humanity, and this is it. This is all we've got, is planet Earth. Quick report on the Amazon. I sat in on a great webinar from the Woods Hole Institute yesterday, and they reported, among other things, a few bullet points that I thought were really well stated, that there are 4 ways the Amazon is important and irreplaceable globally. One is that it stores carbon. It's the largest land-based carbon sink on Earth. It's also important because it removes carbon. It's the best facility we have on Earth for removing greenhouse gas emissions rapidly from the planet, so we don't want to destroy it. A third way that the Amazon is globally irreplaceable is its cooling impacts on the planet. And at local, regional scale, when you remove the Amazon through deforestation, local temperatures increase 5 to 10 degrees where the forest previously stood. That cooling impact is essentially because of the vegetative ability to absorb heat and turn that into biological productivity, and the moisture circulation that's provided by that vegetation. That moisture circulation affects the fourth area that the Amazon is irreplaceable, and that's in global biological productivity. That the Amazon is circulating and distributing water vapor both locally and globally. The requirement for us to survive and maintain biological productivity, including food production on our planet. Currently, the affected area from the fires in the Amazon is around twice the size of Rhode Island, and the fires are expected to continue through the fall. So it's not a good situation, and the Amazon is getting hotter and drier from deforestation, and then the acceleration of that through global warming and climate change. You can help stop the deforestation fires by supporting all kinds of different efforts. Again, there's a national example that the Inslee Plan sets for how a country can resolve its climate pollution and build a sustainable economy globally. You also can support and should support efforts to help ranchers and farmers slow their deforestation. I'll post a link to one of those groups in the comments. Protect old-growth forests. That's what my project, BioIntegrity, is working on. Empowering indigenous land ownership, indigenous rights, and community-based development. There are dozens of indigenous rights organizations doing excellent work all over the Amazon, all over the tropics. You can stop buying deforestation leather, specifically Brazilian leather. This is something that Timberland and Vans and the North Face committed to this week. H&M also committed to it this week. You can stop buying deforestation beef, deforestation coffee, deforestation soy, and deforestation palm oil. And you can help institute governmental leadership going in the right direction by supporting petitions, by voting, and by more than anything, talking about this, sharing this, being more active on the deforestation issue that affects all of us in the future. Last but not least, I want to say keeping the Amazon and keeping tropical forests is the simplest way and the most essential way to stop climate change and to protect the future of biodiversity and biological productivity on our planet. We need to redouble protection and restoration efforts now. The science says we are close to the tipping point for the Amazon and for the other tropical forest systems. We are right at the edge right now, and that's not a tipping point we want to cross. We need to change the global mindset and global action immediately. So BioIntegrity, my project, has been promoting saving indigenous lands in the Amazon for the last couple of months. We've had some incredibly generous donations come in from several people, as well as dozens and dozens of donations from other generous people. And I'm asking you to take the easiest action here and make a small to large donation for saving indigenous lands in the Amazon. You can learn more about that project at the biointegrity.net solutions webpage. BioIntegrity is promoting Rainforest Trust and the Center for the Development of an Indigenous Amazon, who are based in Peru. Each one of these groups has a 30-year track record of outstanding tropical forest protection and indigenous rights and land ownership empowerment. It's 76 cents an acre. And so for $1, you can do more good for the future of the global climate and biosphere than a rooftop solar system. And with that said, I think probably the brightest thing that's coming out so far from these Amazon fires is I get the sense that there are a lot of people around the world who really understand that we require the Amazon and the tropical forest system to live. There are a lot of people who know either scientifically or intuitively that without the tropical forest system, it won't matter whether or not you drive an electric car. And that's what we need to bring to the forefront today. The first thing we need to do is protect and restore our life support systems where they are most concentrated. Thank you. See you next week.